Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Peteman Reviews. Today we have Mania-King from Unique Toys. Mania-King is obviously a third-party robot based on the Transformers Generation 1 toy Galvatron. This is him in cannon mode. As you can see, it's quite a convincing cannon mode as well. It looks particularly good. What's also quite notable, if I can angle it to the light, there we go, you can see that there's actually wheels. They're not wheels, they're obviously tracks. They don't move or anything, but the intention is that Galvatron has tracks, which means he can actually move in cannon mode. This was kind of always implied that he could move in cannon mode, but we never really saw it happen. And I know the original G1 guy as well had little tracks on there, so it's always been something that's implied, but we've never seen it. Another nice feature is the cannon does actually fire, so hopefully this will be picked up on the camera. There we go, with quite a nice little laser cannon, effectively. Just a nice little touch. Now this is the revised colour edition of Mania-King as well, which is more true to the original G1 colour schemes. Interesting enough, the way he transforms as well, it retains the purple changing to grey mode. So when he's a cannon he's grey predominantly, when he's a robot he's predominantly purple. One thing that I don't really think works is his head. As you can see, there's not really anywhere for his head to go when it transforms, it just sticks out the bottom. Depending on how you display the cannon, this is either noticeable or it's not. So there, for example, you can't see it, but there it is just about visible. It's a minor thing, but it's a bit irritating. You've got sights through there. Otherwise, the attention to detail is extremely high. It's a very good looking Transformer. Complicated to transform, but that's fairly common with third-party Transformers, and I have to say Unique Toys in particular don't make them easy to transform, and then they snap. It's quite a firm movement. However, as a replacement for your Generation 1 Galvatron, it's second to none. It just is so much better. Just in this mode, it's so much better as well. So let's transform him to robot mode, and robot mode is really where this toy shines. To begin with, you don't need this part at the back here. Well, you will need it, but it detaches for the transformation. So these will become his arms and his hands. So you just flip them apart like that. Flip the hands out. Same again on this side. Take the hands out. Now this part here needs to come round. The whole arm moves up, and then see there's a little tab there. You don't need to worry about that tab, it's these two on the edges here which go into, you can just see there's two holes for the arms. Let's go in, there we go. Same on this side. Up, round, and in. So that's the arms. Now we'll just get the arms, we'll keep the arms like that for the moment, just so they're out of the way. The leg also comes up. Now this is where you have you will go click. There we go. Because that piece there does go into there. It's a really tight fit. It does work, but it is a very tight fit. Okay, so now we're kind of almost, we're not almost there at all, but you kind of see what we're doing. I'm just going to remove the gun here because, let me tell you, it looks really dodgy when you start to transform in. It's a very inconveniently placed appendage, shall we say. Okay, so don't kick the camera when you're making a video. Okay, so what we now have here is, you see these parts hit the tracks. These actually fold in to become like the shoulder blades almost. It's a really clever way of doing it actually, because by doing the shoulder blades like this, it gives somewhere to put the tracks that don't become the arms. They've effectively completely reversed the way you transform. Whereas before the head was here, now they've made this part the legs, so to get the colour scheme. So it's completely different. When I say how it was before, I mean when it was the G1 Transformer. It's a very clever way of doing it. Completely gets rid of all the problems before. Now you see, I don't know if you saw that because that might have been a bit off camera. Just flip that round at the back. Get the arms out of the way now. This all flips in here. and that flips out. So now we've got the back of Galvatron. You can see with these becomes its huge shoulders, and you've got the rear back there. The arms do now slot in this side. We'll just keep them still out of the way a bit. Again on that side. And as for the back, all of this gubbins here, it just slots nicely down onto back here, and the whole thing just slides down, so these are out of the way. Okay, so that's the top half of Galvatron. Now for the legs. So to keep this out of the way for the moment, the legs are a little delicate. We'll just move these up, but it just has a very slight, there we are, is that you have to pull that out, and you've got this very slight rockable appendage there, which then slots back in. Now, I haven't known it break, but I have read on other reviews that other people have had that happen, which must be pretty awful, I have to say. So, just need to be a little bit careful. I won't do the other foot at the moment, I'm just going to pull out this leg again. I think possibly the original release of Galvatron. Actually, I don't know if I rotated it. Yeah, I did. You need to have these parts on the front. Maybe the original release of Galvatron had more of a problem with that, but certainly the re-release I haven't encountered any. So feet. Feet are currently the wrong way round. So just rotate like that and up like that. Up. Rotate, up again, and then within the foot you kind of almost have to catch it a bit, because it's not the easiest thing in the world to pull out. Cool. Yeah, it's going to be a pain. These feet do come out again. There we go. See, to make another foot at the back there, to make a plate. They are, however, difficult to catch sometimes. Again, that's fairly true of Unique toys in general. Okay, so these little bits here just slide down, and then this just rotates in on itself, like so, and down. Okay, and we're almost there with Galvatron, so just a little bit of faffing around the arms. Now, cannon. So we now need to mount it onto here. Make sure that you've got the little trigger at the bottom. It just slides in, and then I haven't gone through all that. I then put it the wrong way. So you want trigger on the bottom, and then with the trigger on the bottom you want it so that that's going in there, because it will just slot into the arm here to make Galvatron. Now we'll just pop him into a little bit of a pose, as Galvatron is often. An extremely good toy. That is Galvatron, or Mania-King, to use the third-party terminology. And again, the gun does light up again as normal, which is good. And it is actually a proper laser. If we just see if we can show you here. So this is onto the... I'm not going to pick it up because the lighter here is too strong. You might just see it a bit, but it is actually a proper laser. It's not just an LED. Well, I say laser. It's kind of shines. Actually, it might be better off shining it on me. So I put my hand there, and then say shine it on there. There we go. So it does actually work, which is quite cool. In terms of the robot, absolutely fantastic. It's definitely on a masterpiece scale. Considering the fact there isn't a masterpiece Galvatron, and it doesn't look like it's going to be one anytime soon, it definitely makes up for it. Okay, it's not as big as masterpiece Optimus Prime, and perhaps that's the one flaw. It's not really a flaw, but if you wanted to have your masterpiece toys, you would expect Galvatron to be the same size as Prime. Actually, it's not even been a masterpiece Megatron that I'm aware of. So again, what's that there? I know they transformed into guns, but it's not as if the Autobots aren't carrying a gun. So it's also guns, but never mind. In terms of detail, head is absolutely spot on. It finally looks like Galvatron. Got some movement, rotation down there. Obviously the arms do move up and down. The one thing is those do slot out quite easily, so you do have to be a little bit careful how they move. The hands aren't full articulation. They do open like that, and then they close, but that's not really a biggie. And then the legs have full articulation as well, and so does the waist. So again, it's nothing that you wouldn't expect from a modern day third-party Transformer. Doesn't mean to say that it's not good when you do see it, because it just looks fantastic and it works really well too. I have to say, Galvatron has always been my favourite Transformer from the get-go, and toys have always been utter rubbish. They really have been rubbish. All the various G1 re-releases. This is the first one that I've ever seen which actually looks like Galvatron. That actually is something that you want to earn. It's so detailed. It transforms well. It looks correct. There's nothing really to fault about it. Okay, I would perhaps like it a little bit bigger if I wanted to put it with my Masterpiece Prime, but that's just a minor thing really. It actually looks like a proper toy. So if we compare him with Toy World's Hegemon, very similar size. Now bear in mind Galvatron's bending over a bit. They are actually a very similar size. Hegemon, which is the version of Megatron, it perhaps lacks a little bit in detail. The gun is extremely good, but the rest of him feels a bit lacking in detail. It's all very plain and that, whereas this guy is so much more detailed. It just looks great. You saw we pulled out Combiner Wars Wheeljack earlier. Good size comparison, really. Again, I know Galvatron is bending down a little bit, but you know he's bigger than Wheeljack, and you'd expect that as well. And then of course we have the G1 Rodimus Prime, which kind of looks very feeble now in comparison. Again, they're a very similar height. Galvatron's a little bit taller, not much, and I know again, as I said, he's bending down, but he's still a little bit taller. But not too much. They feel like they're a comparison. It does make Prime look very pale. Pale, I say pale and pale imitation, and I don't really mean imitation, because if anything this is an imitation of that in terms of manufacturer. But it really doesn't show Prime up in the best light. Rodimus looks a bit plain, a bit boring. Got nothing going on about it. Galvatron, Mania-King has got it all. I mean, if we just zoom in again, the gun, the chroming, really good. The silver and the kind of bronze looks really good. The detailing on the face, the detail on the chest, detail on the stomach, it's great. You've even got proper detailing down here. Good movement. It feels solid. So perhaps this is the only slight weak spot on him. It's great. Absolutely great robot. Possibly a little bit on the pricier side now, and the instructions are pretty useless. They are really difficult. This guy, he's not easy to transform at all. He comes in robot mode, and it's a lot easier to get him from cannon mode to robot mode than it is to go the other way, which unfortunately you'll have to do if you buy him. On the other hand, let's face it, Galvatron spends most of his time in robot mode, as does Megatron. I know Galvatron's got a more useful robot alt mode than Megatron has, but the robot mode is where it's at. That's where you want him most of the time and where he's at his most impressive. Yeah, it's a great robot. You will cost you a fair bit of money now to get. Do I think it's worth it? Yeah, I do. I know there are other ones on the market. You've got Tyrant. I haven't got Tyrant, but it looks very good. Can't remember who makes that. Is it Make Toys? Might well be. And I know that the Titan's Return also features a version of Galvatron, which looks good. I don't think it looks quite as good, but you know, I'm open to be proved wrong on that, and a lot of it will depend on how well the gimmick works. This Galvatron is only a double changer, and when I say double changer, he's got an alt mode and a robot mode. Most versions of Galvatron are triple changes, so that's the compromise with this. Is you don't get the extra mode. The G1 mode has him as a gun that you can hold, and the Titan's Return release will have him as a kind of spacecraft. So if you're never going to put him in those modes, it's nothing lost, and I'm not really sure why you would. It's far better in robot mode. So that is Mania-King, aka Galvatron, from Toy World. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave comments below, click on the other links and subscribe to see some more videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Goodbye.